COVID was the toughest time for any business out there. Offline businesses were shutting down, reputed companies were firing employees, malls were empty, supply chains were broken, restaurants, hotels, airlines, retail stores, everybody was bleeding. In fact, Indian economy contrast by 7.3% in financial year 2021. That was the worst performing GST fall in India's independent history. And during this tough time, while everyone was just trying to survive, a person from Bangalore started a fashion brand with just 30 designs, 4-member team, and a Spotify account. And in just 5 years, that brand has crossed 500 crore rupees annual revenue while being profitable. And that brand is Snitch.
India's fastest growing fast fashion brand for men. 2020 में हमने इस वेबसाइट की शुरुआत की और आज हम 2000 से ज्यादा ऑर्डर शिप करते हैं ऑन अ डेली बेसिस.
The reason why this is very extraordinary is that while Zara, with the backing of Tata Group, with 22 stores across 13 cities, was doing 2,700 crore rupees. H&M, with 50 stores, was doing 3,500 crore rupees. But the Snitch, a 5-year-old brand, has crossed its highest ever monthly gross revenue of 45 crore rupees and annual recurring revenue of 5,040 crore rupees, all while staying bootstrapped and profitable. So the question is how? And that's exactly what we are going to cover in this episode. That is, what is so special about Snitch that it built a profitable business while others are losing money? How on earth did a brand started during the pandemic with no funding, no corporate backing, but still managed to build a 2,500 crore rupees empire in just 5 years? And most importantly, how did Snitch master the supply chain that not even Zara has cracked in India? The story of Snitch begins not in 2020, but much earlier. Actually, it starts not even with a business plan, but with a disaster. When Siddharth was a teenager helping run his family business, he has built a small operation supplying fabric to manufacture. One day, a large buyer placed an order and then backed out, leaving Siddharth holding 25 lakh rupees worth of unsold fabric with nowhere to go.
I was basically stuck with that fabric. Didn't have place to keep it also. Kept it at a friend's garage. That's when I made these very small swatches out of those fabrics. और फिर मैंने call करके start किया कि भाई मेरे पास ऐसा fabric है. Can you bail me out of this situation?
So he had no other option left but to distribute these samples to every contact he knew and trying to find the new buyers. And just when he thought all was lost, a Mumbai retailer came to him with a very different kind of offer.
He called me up and he was like, Sid, the fabric is fabulous. Can you make shirts out of them?
Now, from the looks of it, you would think Siddharth would be excited. An order is an order, right? Well, not really, because till then he was a fabric trader, not a manufacturer. And he had never snitched a single garment in his life before 2012.
उसने बोला यार 200-300 पीस सैंपल बना के भेज दे. I think I can bail you out of this situation because fabric बहुत अच्छा.
But with 25 lakh rupees of inventory bleeding him dry, he had no other choice. So he found a small manufacturer, spent weeks inside a factory learning how t-shirts are actually made. And
understood the whole process of production. Okay, what are the machineries like? Silhouettes कैसे बनते हैं, patterns कैसे बनाते हैं, shrinkage कैसे check करते हो, interlining क्या होता है, कैसे use करते हो, धागा कौन सा use करना चाहिए.
And delivered the pieces to that Mumbai retailer 2 months later.
I converted that entire batch into shirts and ended up making 6.5 lakh rupees while I was making 2.5 lakh selling the fabric.
And that order fetched him 6.5 lakh rupees of profit. Not a lot of money, but it gave him something far more valuable. A complete understanding of how fashion supply chain works from raw material to finished garment. And from that moment in 2012, he pivoted from a fabric trader to a manufacturer till 2019. And this is how, ladies and gentlemen, the foundation of what would become India's fastest growing men's fashion brand was actually built from 25 lakh rupees failure. Now the question is, how does Snitch business model actually works and what makes it so powerful? Well, people, here is what you need to understand. about how Snitch works and what exactly is their competitive moats. You see, a fast fashion business works across 6 critical blocks, which includes trend spotting, designs and testing, manufacturing, distribution, marketing, and feedback loop. And the brand that execute all 6 faster and smarter than anyone else win. So let's understand this block by block and how Snitch has executed all these perfectly. The first block is trend spotting, as in how quickly and accurately can a brand detect what customer actually wants right now. Most fashion brands in India solve this problem in old-fashioned way. A design team sit in room, look at last season's data and global trend and make a judgment, and then place a massive order with manufacturer 6 months in advance and hope for the best. The result of this strategy is often collection of 30 to 40% of inventory never sell and sit in houseware until it is discounted at 50 to 60% to clear the dead stock. But Snitch has built entirely different system. Every month, every week, and even every day, Snitch team analyze Google keyword data, Instagram hashtag trends, and global fashion aggregators and their own internal data to understand what Indian men are searching for right now when the buying decision was made. And not just that, they even track which specific occasion was trending at that moment. Is it the party wear, the wedding guest outfit, or the concert dressing? And on top of it, they spotted something about Indian men's consumer that most brand has completely missed, which is Indian men don't browse the fashion the way women do. Men are what Siddharth call quick and snappy. A man knows if he has a house party on Saturday, he search for printed shirt for the parties and he does not want many options. He just want 3 to 4 good options so that he can make a quick decision and he can get a fast delivery. And Snitch is built entirely for this behavior, not for browsing but for solving a specific occasion problem in 5 minutes. And if this is clear to you, here comes the second block, which is the design and testing. And this is where this Snitch made a single most important decision of their business. They test their product before they go for huge manufacturing. Every new design of Snitch goes out in a small batch of just 10 to 20 SKUs first. If it performs, Snitch scales it immediately, and if it does not, they kill it and move on.
So if you have to figure out your design, it's going to be a function of data scraping, which is going to involve keywords, hashtags, global trends, and WGSN Institute.
Yeah, and then we marry it with our data, which is what was it like last time, same period, what was the sort of products that were selling, what are the common trades between the two, and then decide upon which are the ones that we are betting higher on and which are the ones that we are going to bet lower on, right? We look at almost 20, 30 data points across every product.
Okay.
Like if it is a check shirt, how many inches of checks is it? That sold well last time, versus this time. If it was a collar, was it a button down collar or a spread collar? Did shirts with pocket do well or without pocket? So there are certain data points that we know, obviously, from the sort of historical data that we have over the last 4-5 years. Use them with the current sort of trend and then curate a collection accordingly.
No emotion, just pure data. And
About your inventory, which should not go beyond 45 to 60 days. Beyond that, you got to be a little
I mean,
careful.
it could go. I mean, it's very, very difficult to control.
If you're a core brand, then it could go, you said, right? But when it comes to fast fashion, 45 to 60 days is a healthy marker.
Yeah, I mean, always important that you keep it as low as possible.
this discipline alone is what protects Snitch cash flow, keeping the margin healthy even as they grow 100% year on year. Now, if you ever tried to build a fashion brand in India, you would know the biggest nightmare dealing with manufacturer is what is called minimum order quantity. Manufacturers in India, just like China, don't want to produce 50 to 100 piece. They want orders of 1000 or 5000 per piece because only then their factory can run efficiently. But if you are running testing trend in small batches, you simply cannot place 100 pieces or 5000 pieces for 50 different designs at the same place. And this is where most D2C fashion brands hit a wall and never become profitable. This is why Snitch has choose design and testing method. And now comes the third block, which is manufacturing. And here Snitch has unfair advantage that no money cannot buy. Because Siddharth has spent almost a decade before Snitch learning manufacturing from the ground up, building deep relationship and understanding what actually motivates a manufacturer. And he came to manufacturers not just as another customer but as partner. He standardized SOP for every step of production. He treats manufacturers as co-workers of output, and in return, he gave manufacturers something they desperately need, which is consistent, regular, and predictable orders throughout the years. So, a manufacturer who partnered with Snitch mightly get a small order, but they get many small orders so that their factory runs efficiently without boom bust circle that destroy most small manufacturers in India. So just like that, Snitch built a network of suppliers who could produce everything from shirts to trousers to boxers and to accessories on a short notice and at a quality standards that match global benchmarks. The result of this partnership model is that Snitch go from concept to live product in 5 to 10 days. Whereas Zara, which is globally celebrated for supply chain speed, typically takes 3 to 4 weeks from design to shelf in Europe, but in India, with additional complexity of imports, customs and distribution across the country, their speed gets far more slower. But on the other hand, because Snitch operates domestically, control its entire manufacturing networks, they can go from design to product in shelf or to the customers in just 15 days. And this is the structural advantage that a $1 billion network budget cannot overcome. Then comes the fourth block, which is distribution. Snitch made a decision that most D2C brand gets completely wrong. Snitch started their own D2C website, selling only through their own website and app, not through Amazon, Myntra or any other marketplace. And the reason behind this strategy is very simple. Because the moment you list your product on marketplace, you lose 3 things. First, customer data, which is very integral and important part for any business to grow, because it helps you to understand your customers, their need, what are the decisions they made when they buy, and what are the decisions they made when they don't buy your product. Second, price control. Suppose you list your product on Myntra or Amazon. Now, when a customer search for a product, you are in a permanent race to a bottom against every other brands fighting for the same search ranking. And third is brand identity, because suppose any person search for t-shirt on Myntra or on Amazon, you are just one of thousands of the searches and customer has no reason to come back to you specifically. And this is why Snitch did not go to the any marketplace. Instead, they started with their own D2C website. But the founder of Snitch was also smart enough to know that online alone cannot build the scale he want for his brand. So Snitch also expanded into offline stores, but first they collected the customers' data. They look at their D2C sales, identifying the cities, pin codes with the highest concentration of existing customers and open their stores exactly there. And as of 2025, Snitch has 58 physical stores across the India, and they are planning to reach 100 by 2028. And now comes the fifth block, which is marketing. And here again, Snitch did something very different from traditional fashion brands. They did not run expensive television commercials or full page print ad. Instead, they went straight to Instagram and YouTube and collaborate with the content creator who already had audience Snitch wanted, and they let the creators do authentic styling video. And with this, their product itself became the marketing, because when a t-shirt look great on a 22-year-old content creator who actually wear it to a party or anywhere he or she appears, that is far more convincing for the customers than an expensive celebrity endorsement campaign. And now comes the final piece of the puzzle, which is feedback loop. This is where the data infrastructure of Snitch close an entire circle. Every sale, every return, every product that sit unsold for 30 days, feedback into next collaboration. Because with all this data, team knows which category is growing, which fabric are working, which price point are converting, and which trends are dying. And with the help of feedback loop and the entire data, the Snitch team has collected from trend spotting to testing to manufacturing to distribution starts again in 10 to 15 days. This is how a brand that started during COVID with no funding, no corporate backing, with just 30 designs broke the dominance of Zara, H&M and Manyavar in Indian men's fashion market. With an agile supply chain built from factory floors up to an effective approach of trend spotting that eliminate the dead stock, a direct to consumer relationship that no marketplace can take away, and a feedback loop that gets faster and smarter with every passing season. And this brings us to the end of this episode. If you learn something very valuable from this case study, then please make sure to share this episode with your friends and family, and I'll see you in the next one.